So just now integrated Zoom with Facebook. So let me see, let me know in the comments. Here we go. Let me know in the comments if you can see me and you hear me okay. All right, cool. I got a couple people hopping on there. And so let's see here. Cool, I see it. Oh, all right, cool. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate you, dude. We got a couple people going on here. I'm super excited about this group. Thanks for hopping on. What's up, Tina? Veronica, thanks for hopping on here. Yeah, okay, cool. So what I'm gonna be talking about in this video, just so y'all know, and as you're probably aware, first of all, thanks for the communication. This is a whole new system that we got going on because we've been doing it on Telegram, and we still have our Telegram groups, as most of y'all probably are in there already. If not, shoot me a message if you want to get into our Telegram community. But this is a better way to communicate back and forth, let you all see where you all are at with your trading, and see where you're at, where you want to go with your trading, more importantly. So if you have any questions, we'll have a Q&A at the end of the live. So just hit me up in the comments, and either me or one of my admins will message you back. And you know, if you want me to look at any pairs, this will be some analysis. What's up, Octavio? I saw your friend request, man. I'll hit you back on there too. Chad, what's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. And yeah, so we're gonna be looking at US dollar yen. I actually just sent a signal out to my VIP group on dollar yen. And this is an awesome setup for looking at multiple time frames here. So this is one of my biggest strategies. So many times trading, like as a mentor, I get all kinds of messages every day, right? So one of the things, and typically with beginner traders, you know, whenever I send a trade setup out there, or I'm talking about specific pair, they're like, yo, what time frame are we on? What time frame are we on? I get that all the time. And so you need to get it through your mind that there is no one time frame. So what we want to get into the mode of doing is looking at the market on every time frame, right? So this is a strategy I teach in my accelerator to my funding students, but I'm going to teach it to you all here today. So you can learn it. It doesn't matter if you're advanced or you're a beginner. Hopefully you learned something on this training, and I'm sure you will. So yeah, let me know if you guys can still hear me, if that excites you. This will be a game changer for your trading. What's up, Pedro? Appreciate you, bro. This will be a game changer in the way that you analyze your charts and do your technical analysis. So like, I remember when I was a beginner, I was like, man, where do I even start here? Like, I was so confused because I didn't even know where to look. So, you know, if you guys can relate to that, you know, let me know in the comments. And if there's a certain chart you want me to look at, I will do that, and I will relate it back to this training specifically to help you all out and really show you exactly what it is, what I'm looking at. So, yeah, sound check. Thanks, man. Veronica, okay, cool. So keep this in mind, Veronica, whenever you pull up your charts. So I'm going to share my screen with you here, and I'm going to pull up my iPad, and I'm super excited that this actually is working because, yeah, I had a couple false starts figuring it out. Got a question here. Would love to see GJ. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you, bro. Michael, got you covered. So let's look at it first, though, in UJ, because I'm actually going to provide you all with a signal that you can trade from this. So if you do take this trade, keep in mind, take it at your own risk, manage your risk. If you're a beginner, trade it on demo and see if this works. But for anybody that is maybe more advanced, like tell me in the comments if you see, this is the month I was preparing for this live, and I was looking at this, and I was like, damn, that is a inverted head and shoulders. Like, do you guys see the inverted head and shoulders here? Like, It's on the monthly chart. Chantella, thanks. Yep. Awesome. We got some comments here. And so even if you're new, this looks like a straight up, and it doesn't just look like it. Let's see it. Hold on. Lost my screen there. There it is. It doesn't just look like it. It's a head and shoulders. So you see this head. It's an upside down inverted head and shoulder, shoulder right here. So, but the thing is, keep in mind that we're on a monthly chart here. So it's not going to fill out this shoulder here next week, right? So this could take the rest of the year, but we've got some big dollar strength coming in the market right now. But you can see this, you see that head and shoulders. So now when I pull up my charts, I'm on a monthly chart and I'm like, okay, wow, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we filled out this chart pattern. So one of my big strategies that I teach in my trainings is recognizing and memorizing market structure, because all trading is, and people are so surprised when I tell them this, is that like I'm not a numbers guy at all. Where I'm good at trading is I'm really good at recognizing patterns. Like in school growing up, I was really good at geometry because I could recognize a triangle. I couldn't like solve for X very well, but I knew I could see these patterns. And like the same thing goes with trading your own style, right? So we started out on the monthly chart. Here we are on the weekly chart. And so you can see, just like I mentioned, we have a huge triangle pattern here. And not only do we have a triangle pattern, like for the guys and girls that have been through my training, this is a breakdown, right? So this is a breakdown of a trend line, a trend line break, just a straight up, good old fashioned trend line break. This big wick right here, if you're sitting there wondering like, okay, well, you have your trend line through the wick right there. What's the deal with that? This is COVID-19. So this is the massive market breakdown following back in February. So it definitely does count, but when we're doing our standard technical analysis, we can keep that in mind. And we know that this area right here, this is a significant zone that, boy, I wouldn't be surprised to see us retest it right now. This is like at 100. So now I have the monthly chart here, right? So I just went to the weekly chart. And now I have our long-term zone here. So this is a 500 pip break, by the way. So like this could take weeks, if not months, to pan out and to really formulate itself. So now I keep going in. I keep going smaller and smaller time frames and zooming in closer and closer, because now I went to the monthly. I got the bird's eye view of what's going on, right? Breakdown. Here, breakdown from triangle pattern. Now we go to the weekly, and now we go to the daily. And so we're zooming in tighter and tighter. So I'm gonna take a break here. I'm gonna look at the comments, see if this is making sense to you. Cool, let me know. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. Just let me know if this is making sense. One thing that I'm really good at as a mentor is making it as simple as possible, because dude, I didn't get profitable until I was simplified everything. So now this is where I saw the setup today, and this is where I'm going to share with you guys the trade I'm looking at right now. I just entered here at 105.35, and you can see we have a breakdown of the support here. So we had what was support, and then a breakdown from the support, and now we're retesting the backside. So I know there's a few beginners out there. This is super simple concept, but if you learn this is like one of the basic tenets of trading. We break through a support. So you can think of support as a floor. I like to think of support and resistance as floor and ceiling, right? So this is resistance here, And you can see this is the ceiling, right? Price just keeps hitting the ceiling and bouncing off, hitting the ceiling and bouncing off. And then here, we broke through that, and now we're retesting it. So we are on the 4 hour, and now I just keep zooming in and in and in to get that really good entry. And this is what I teach my accelerator students, how to get these really good entries, because once you get funded with outside capital, you have a certain drawdown limit. You can only lose so much before you lose the whole account. So your entry is the most important thing that you can do here. And I personally like the 30-minute 4 entries. And so now in the 30-minute here, you can see this is what I call a double tap or triple tap RSI. So we hit these. I know I'm hitting you with a lot of information, by the way. So I teach this stuff sectionalized in our trainings, but just stay with me right now. Just to go ahead and show you, if you're trading UJ, this is a great entry right now. 104 or 105.42. So we have a move here, 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 and I'm thinking, at least I'm betting, right? Because I'm trading this myself, that we're going to take a move lower. So this is on our signal setup for the VIP group. This is my exact trade that I'm showing you guys right now. And you can see sometimes I go in here to the 15-minute, and you can see how here we are and the rejection that we're getting right now. So I don't really trade the 15-minute, but I look for it to see, like, okay, is this the candle's about to close? It's 212, 215, and we're about to see some downside movement here. So now here we are in the 30-minute, and 30 minutes more of like my bread and butter. So for bread and butter is like your honey pot trade, so to speak. This is where you can really make your money, and you can see if you guys took the trade at 105.42, you should be in profit right now. So these are my take profit. 105, I think is a great target for y'all if we're going to have some really good risk to reward. But just to tie it back to where we're coming from and the title of this training, I think we're going all the way down here to 100, because I've established on the weekly this super important zone right here. Looked at the monthly, we see inverted head and shoulders. I mean, straight up inverted head and shoulders going on here. 1 touch, 2 touch, head, shoulder, shoulder. I wouldn't be surprised to see us retest this zone, and then some potential dollar rallying going further. So if you wanted to hold this as a swing trade, for all the people interested in swing trading out there, I think this looks like an awesome setup. So I have my stop loss at 105.70, up above this resistance level right here. But if you wanted to, this is a really, really good entry. So I think 105.60, 105.65. If you want to have an even tighter stop loss in order to manage your risk better, I think that's going to be a great trade. So that's what it is. That's how we're looking at. We start out monthly, we go weekly, and then we go macro. Just think, go macro and then micro. And that is one of the best strategies to get you to know how to look at. So have a great question from Rosina. Where do you get the entry confirmation, on 30-minute or the hourly, 4 hour? So on the 30-minute. So that's a great question. And why not wait for a move downward and a retest? So Michael, so yeah, to answer your question, Rosina, on the 30-minute, we're on the 30-minute here, and you can see this candle isn't closing above the former high. So and what I just said is I even go to the 15-minute, and have a look at this candle. It just closed here, and now you can see this massive doji, right? It's a huge doji right here, and that's a gravestone doji. And typically that is a sign of a reversal. So, we have 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes left in New York session. So might just get one last push higher before a move downward. So to answer Michael's question about waiting for confirmation as a retest, check it out, Michael. Move downward. And this right here is the retest because we broke through the support. We also have a trend line, right? Going here from this wick to this wick and then across. And this move higher, which has happened with this crazy dollar strength going on, is the retest itself. So we have our confirmation, we have our move lower here, retest higher, and now I'm looking for a push back down, at least to 105. But long term, in terms of scalping, I think the market's going to revisit this wick, fill this wick out. So this right here, if you wanted to put a buy limit just at 100, that would be a great trade. And more than likely, it'll be some sort of big ton of liquidity coming into the market. We'll get touched down there. It's going to be a fantastic entry. So great question, though, guys. Let's take a look at GJ. So we had a question about GJ, and in terms of looking at it multiple time frames. So Chantilla, so yeah, monthly, then weekly, daily, and exactly. And so then, it's all up to your personal preference in terms of, like, I personally like to trade intraday or scalp. So I'm doing fast trades. So I get the big picture on the weekly, on the daily, and then it moves tighter and tighter for entry. But, if you just want to be a swing trader, maybe you stay at the daily chart. So if you just wanted to swing trade this, you have enough confirmation here in general for it to be a move down and then a move higher, a breakdown out of the support and a retest. And, you can see where our stop is above the resistance and where our downside targets for our take profits, which equal these wicks right here, which will probably, the market will revisit those areas. So let's take a look at GJ, since we had a question on that. And just to look at it in terms of where we're going moving forward. So I think that, first of all, the pound is super bearish right now. And what I like to do, here we are on the monthly chart, right? So it looks like we're in quite the consolidation phase right now. I do think long-term we'll see a move higher in the pound, like overall pound strength. But and this is exactly how I do it. So I look for our areas on the monthly. So I have the monthly drawn out here. Then I go more micro each time. Here we are on the weekly, which this looks like a false breakout here. So I would be looking for some sort of retest around these areas. But, like, the thing is do you want to just sell right here when it's at the bottom? No, definitely not. What I would be looking for, man, to answer your question, is I wouldn't necessarily want to buy it down here, although this could be a good trade, but you would be going against the trend, right? And so you've probably heard, and it's true, and some of y'all probably learned the hard way, that the trend is your friend. Going against it and can it works out sometimes, and it works out great sometimes, but other times not so much. So the safest play that you could do, so here we are, just to recap, went to the weekly chart. I can see we're trading in this triangle. So then I go daily chart, set out my targets here. We also have a nice zone going across right here. And this is like zone trading. These major areas, these significant areas, is a technique I teach my funding students how to find these and just pinpoint these significant areas in the market. But just to recap it, I mean, it's just areas where support became resistance, and you get these significant moves through there. So what I would be looking for, man, here we are in the daily. Now we go smaller, 4 hour. And then the 30-minute, right? Skipped over the hourly, but it's the same. I mean, you could do a buy right here. Just keep in mind that you're going against the trend. The safest play, though, in my mind, now that we have our areas drawn out because we got the big picture, was to wait for a move back up here and then become a seller. So like more than anything, remember this, let the market come to you. You like forcing your trades on the market is works out a lot less than when you are like have your zones written out here. You know where the market, where you think the market's going to go at least, and then you can let the market come to you. So just remember, more than anything, like we want to go macro to micro, macro to micro. Just remember that, and if you can. So if you're good at geometry, you can eyeball the supports and get a pretty good clear pick. Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Cameron. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, and Rosina, sure, I'll look at AU and EG, but more than anything, you know, I just recorded a market update video, so that's going to be uploaded to YouTube, where I just look at the overall best setups right now, in my opinion. But since this is brand new and you know, we're just new to getting to know each other in this Facebook group, sure, let's take a look at take a look at AU and EG. So AU I like a lot. Just I can go ahead and say I've been I talked about it on my weekly outlook video, and it's a pretty great setup. So just to go back to the question about geometry, right? So like for me, and what my training is I lay out different patterns, different structures that are potential reversal points in the marketplace. So right now you can see what's this called. This is called as an ascending wedge. So you guys see the ascending wedge here, right? So it's a wedge that's making an ascending motion. So we have ascending wedges and we have descending wedges. Thanks, Pedro. Ascending wedges and descending wedges. And this happens to be an ascending wedge. So you can see this is just another form of a triangle moving higher, right? And now the targets here, to answer your question though about where I think it would go, I think we're going to get some sort of bounce, but you don't want to buy or sell when it's just kind of in the middle here. This could be a good area for a bounce, and potentially it might be, because we're coming up to another zone, right? So was resistance, became support, and now we're retesting it. So I would say try this out on a demo account. I know you said that you're a new trader, so try it out on a demo. You know, that is the only way to learn how to trade. Do not try be trading for 3 weeks and then start trading your own money, because you're going to lose. I'm just trying to save you a lot of heartbreak and disappointment, because I've been there. I went through the cycle 2 years before I found a mentor, and I started getting funded with outside capital, and it really just changed my whole life altogether. So it's been, that was almost 4 years ago. So it's been a long journey since then, that's for sure. But that being said, these same strategies I learned and I'm teaching to you all right now. And you can see This is an ascending wedge. This is a reversal formation. And you can see this on, just to tie this all together into our theme of the day, using larger time frames. So here we are on the weekly chart. So this is actually turned out to be a great example. So thanks for asking. Now, one of my big strategies is looking for false breakouts, false breakdowns in the market to pinpoint reversals. And man, you know, this is, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Maybe in the next week or two, I'll do a whole training on false breakouts, false breakdowns, how to trade them. But that being said, you could look at this two ways, that, you know, we're in the midst of a false breakout right now, or that we're retesting this trend line. So it's actually kind of a close call to tell right now. But if this is the case and we're just retesting here, this might be a great place for a bounce and to buy. But like, if we were going to look at two trades that I called out today between AU and UJ, especially because AU has been really weak, I would go with our UJ setup. Because we're hitting this resistance right now, and I'm expecting some dollar weakness to come in just because it's been so strong all week. But, you know, if you want to practice, check it out on your demo account, go for it, because this looks like actually a really good area. So let's take a look at Euro Pound real quick, then we'll wrap it up here, and I'll take any more questions. Euro Pound is a little more choppy, that's for sure. But I don't really see a great entry here, to be honest with you. I would be looking for a retest of these highs up here. So you can see this is a high, this is a significant area. But for me, you don't want to, it's much harder going in when something's like either not quite at the bottom or not quite at the top. When it's in the middle of a range, it's super hard to trade. So, but you know, there's multiple ways you could look at this. This could be a breakdown and retest of a trend line. This is a beautiful thing about trading, you guys. So it's like whatever I say, like I could be completely wrong for one, and two, we could be looking at the same chart and one person say it's bullish, one person say it's bearish, and both of us be right. But let's take a look at the weekly chart, right? So here we are. Now, if I was just looking at the weekly, I would be looking at this big area right here and this big area right here. So just looking at this, I would say we'd be long term, we're going to be moving lower. So remember when I talked about the pound yen, thinking that the pound's going to get some significant strength in the long run. This is what I'm talking about. Like one of my more advanced strategies that I teach in my training academy is market correlations. I mean, it's a little too complex for me to go in right now. But looking at one pair and being like, okay, so Euro Pound has already hit this resistance. Now, where else could I see some upcoming strength in the pound? So it's like trading is all about getting clues from the market. And it's all about finding clues and then putting the puzzle pieces together. So if you can learn, and this is what I teach, if you can learn how to look at one pair, look at dollar yen, and be like, okay, so we're retesting that former support now. It's become resistance. I think we might have US dollar weakness, at least for a little bit coming into the market. Where else can I look for these potential weakness and opportunities against the dollar. So it's like taking one clue, almost like we're market detectives. I mean, this is what I do every single day. Find one pair, and then pick it apart and look where those potential setups could be in the rest of the market. So it's not an easy way to look at the market, but it simplifies it in a way that anybody can understand, man, for sure. So yeah, but thanks for that question on EG, Regina, for sure. Liquidity is essentially how much money is actually in the market to push the market around. So like in times of low liquidity, like on Christmas Day, that means nobody's trading, right? So there's not going to be much movement happening. But like right now with, for instance, right now we have the election coming up in the United States. Obviously, the world has 2020 has been insane. So the market is becoming increasingly more liquid and more volatile because people are moving their investments around. They're taking money out of the investments they may have had in the market, putting it right now into the dollar because there's a lot of uneasiness going on in the market for sure. And well, as we go into the election, I can only expect it to get more and more volatile for sure. So let's see here. Check my question above. If I missed you in one of the comments, or you would like more information about my program, type in more information and I will hit you up in private too. So I can't check every single person's comment because we have a ton on here. But if I missed it, I will get back to you and, we'll address that in another training for sure. So liquidity is, you don't have to just know that you don't want to trade in an illiquid market, right? Like, so the time between the end of the New York session to the start of the Asian session, that's when you see the spreads get super big, the market's not really moving, and that is the worst time to trade. The best time to trade is during the start of the London session and then London going into New York, because those are the most liquid times in the market when people are trading on Wall Street, when they're trading in London, and specifically for trading Forex, because the big markets, the big moves in the market are banks trading their money and doing investments and making the market happen with, trading money back and forth. So that is the most liquid time in the market and the best time where you're going to see the most opportunity in the market for sure. So, so that being said, type more information below. I'm going to try to get into a few more comments here. And if I didn't get to you, I'll hit you up in private. And let's see, session high and low prices of the last. It's important to look at. Yeah, for sure, man. You want to look at what was the former high, what was the former low, and you want, if you're looking to go on a buy, if you're looking to be bullish on something, you want a close above that last high. London time and New York time. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. You want to close above that last high. So let me just use this as an example since we were looking at euro pound, and then I'll close with this. Yeah, I'm working in an office. I teach a class as well, for sure. So type in more information. I will hit you up after this and I'll message you privately. I want to answer this question too, so you guys get to it. So here we are on the weekly chart here on euro pound, and you can see we have, I'm going to delete some things here. So you can see we have these highs, these former highs here. If we were, hypothetically, this is on a weekly chart, so this would be a massive, massive move. But if we were to close above this last high for the week on a weekly candle basis, and we closed above here, this would be a massive sign of a continuation higher, right? So now, say we retest this area, we retest it, and then we fail again, which is what happened here. This was COVID that week in February, which was insane. And then say we got to this last high, but we failed to close above it on the week. That would be a big signal for rejection, and that overall that we're going to be moving lower, right? So this is a weekly time frame. So remember, if you wanted to swing trade that's how I would approach it. So just looking on euro pound too, just to stay with the topic of what we're talking about here. So here we are on the 4 hour, right? These are the former highs, right? These are the former highs of these sessions. And man, we're in a nice little range here, right? And these are the lows. So right now, you would want to watch for a close below this candle. And then that would be a great sign that we would be moving lower to retest this trend line here. So here we are on the hourly, right? So we went weekly, then we went 4 hour, and then we went 1 hour. But we were unable to close and break below this area. So in my mind, we're going to be looking for a move higher here. So for me, in terms of entry and confirmation, just to tie it all together, I think the best thing you could do right here is wait for a retest of this area, maybe use a pending order or a buy limit, or potentially we close above here for the session, to use your terminology. That would be a great sign that we would be moving higher long term. Not even long term, but that would be a great day trade. But we're kind of at an in-between level right now, so that's what you need to be definitely be aware of for sure. So going to take a look at UJ, our trade, one last time. And it's looking good. You know, we're getting some resistance here. So let's hope this pans out. And if you want more information, hit me up, shoot me a message, or type more information, or me and or one of my admins. We'll get back to you, or both. And thanks for hopping on, everybody. I really appreciate it. This was fun. This is super awesome. And stay tuned. Set your notifications to Mondays and Wednesdays, same time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, you can follow my Instagram, Ronin Forex Group. You can follow my YouTube. There's tons of information there, free trainings. Thanks, Rosina. Free training, and it's Ronin Forex. And that's pretty much, you can just search that and find me wherever. So I'm based out of Nashville, Tennessee, in the United States. I want to see you win. I've helped hundreds and hundreds in our VIP group. We have over 1,000 members. Teach people from all over the world how to trade using these strategies. And it's not about Lambos or whatever, or watches or flexing. It's about getting freedom to be able to take your life back, to have some control over your life that you can get from the markets. And like, I tell you that from my point of view, because I've done it, and I'm not just done it, I'm doing it every day. I'm still trading. I'm trading funded capital. That's exactly what I do. I want to teach you how to do that yourself. So if you're not quite there yet, you're a beginner, you know, I teach that in my training program, and then we can get you to the advanced levels when you're ready. But it takes some time. You know, trading doesn't happen overnight. But the thing is if you keep with it, it does happen 100%. So thanks for hopping on, everybody. I appreciate you. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. Hit me up on Instagram if you want more information. Type more information before I sign off here, and I'll see you in the VIP group. Yeah, Octavio, what's up? And then also, you know what? Continue, if you have any, like, post in this group. You know, this group's awesome. You can post in there. If you have charts, go ahead and share them, and then I'll look at them for sure. So that being said, thanks for hopping on, everybody. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next live. All right, everybody. Peace.